Hello fellow cinephiles, Film Guru here. Today I'm reviewing The Babysitter. This came out in 2017. Yes, I'm a little late to the party with this film, but I finally got to see it. It was directed by Mac G and stars Judah Lewis, Samara Weaving, Robbie Amwell, Bella Thorne and Hannah Mee Lee. The film really follows Cole, played by Judah Lewis, an introverted 12-year-old boy who's always bullied by his next door neighbour and kids at school. He feels awkward and out of place in the world and a bit dorky. And he finds he struggles to accept him. The only person who sort of accepts him for who he is B, played by Samara Weaving, his babysitter that he's had for a number of years. She's funny and interesting and a very confident and cool sort of kind of person that he sort of connects to and he's slightly in love with. And he sort of struggles that she helps him sort of come out of his own skin and accept himself for who he is and to just become the person he wants to be. One night his mother and father go away and then B comes to babysit him and we get to see their interaction, their relationship and the chemistry between them. They sort of geek out together and I kind of like that. That night, in a moment of defiance, Cole secretly stays up past his bedtime. He discovers that B is actually a cold-blooded killer who's in league with the devil. He must now spend his night evading B's band of killers who will stop at nothing to prevent Cole from spilling their dark secret. It's up to Cole to survive the night. I absolutely love this film. It was entertaining and fun. It was funny. It had horror in it. It was a great horror comedy. It was just one hell of a ride from start to finish. We're introduced to Cole and then we see how he's treated and we're introduced to B, who's a really great and fun and entertaining character. And it's just a really fun film. I had a blast with this movie and I look forward to watching the second one, Killer Queen. I thought all the acting was solid. I thought Judah Lewis did a really great job as Cole, and I know he comes back in the sequel. He was really a character you felt for. You know, you could see his struggle, you could see he didn't quite fit in and it was a bit awkward. But it's sort of a coming of age story too for him, which I really loved, with horror thrown in there. And I really like that. You get to see Cole's evolution from where he begins and where he ends, and how cool he becomes, and the things he has to do and overcome along the way, and what he has to do to survive the night. I think all the band of killers that are with B are really fascinating as well. Bella Thorne's really funny in this and has some great moments. And even though I get sick of her playing the similar character, she is very fun and entertaining in this film. I think Robbie Amwell's really solid as well. He plays sort of a crazy character who sort of wants to kill Cole, but he wants to support him and help him as well. And he doesn't have a shirt on for the whole film. There's this great line in the beginning where after they've knocked Cole unconscious and he comes to, his first question is, why doesn't that guy have a shirt on? I found that kind of funny because he doesn't have a shirt on through the whole thing. It was an interesting way of pointing that out. I think the other guys are really good, playing the other members of this group. But for me, the real standout here is Samara Weaving. She's fantastic in this. She plays a really fun and interesting character that's very rich, and she's very fun and entertaining, and she's really kind of that beautiful girl next door type, and she's really funny in this. She has some great funny moments and great funny dialogue and moments in it that really shine. Even when she starts to turn bad and we see who she really is, you still like her. She's still captivating. She still draws you in some way, and I absolutely love her in this. And ultimately I can see how this role led to Ready or Not, because it's a kind of a similar thing in a small amount of ways. She's just a captivating actress. I'm a big fan of hers. I love everything she does. I'm really enjoying watching her sort of shine and grow, and she's definitely one to watch out for. And she takes chances and plays different roles in different films, and I really love that. And I think this is one of her best roles, and I think she's great in it. I find Mac G is kind of like Michael Bay, but a little better storyteller. He's not all about explosions, but they both make films that are similar. You know, there's always a sexy, beautiful girl in it. There's always action. There's always violence and comedy. And there's a variety of things that they seem to use every time. I just feel that Mac G is a little better in some regards. Mac G is all about complete entertainment. And that's exactly what this film is. If you're a fan of horror comedies, you'll absolutely love this. I thought it was brilliant. I love the simplicity of it. I love it takes place in this neighborhood in only a couple of houses. I like how things start to unfold in it and how he sort of accidentally kills people to try and survive. And, you know, he starts off as this little timid little boy and becomes sort of a man by the end in a way. And I really like that. Like he's saying, I'm old enough to look after myself through everything he goes through. He has some great moments in it. There's some great music. The stunt stuff's really effective. The visual effects work really well. Just a very fun and captivating film in many ways. It reminds me of things like The Final Girls, and John Dies in the End, and Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. They're sort of silly horror comedies. But it's still a very engaging film with colourful characters and strange things that happen. Completely know how long Bee's been doing what she's doing. There's a scene where she reveals this old book, and that sort of helps her, and she talks about how she used to be sort of similar to him, and she's picking him to ultimately try and help him by allowing him to become something more than he is. In her mind, she feels like she's still trying to help him, even though it's a kind of psychotic and crazy way to go about it. There's one character in it who constantly gets sprayed in the face with blood. First when they stab this guy at the start and it goes in his face. When they kill a cop, it sort of goes in his face. And it's like this running joke. And he just keeps getting sprayed in the face, and his reactions are hilarious. It's just sort of adding an interesting and funny little moment within the film. Each death sequences are different. I really like that. I like the end of it. I like that this little bit of friendship romance happening between him and the neighborhood girl that he doesn't really notice until she kisses him towards the end of the film. And I think their relationship is really interesting, and I really like this aspect. It has everything that you usually see in a coming of age story, just with a splash of horror and a lot of blood. It's a real highlight, this film. It was engaging and fun. I loved every aspect of it. I can't really flaw it in any way. And I just think this is one of the great horror comedies to come out in many years, and I'm really impressed with it. Final thoughts. In the end, it's really about the Cole character finding his place in the world, accepting who he is, and sort of coming of age, becoming a man. So in a way, without these things happening, he mightn't have become the person he becomes at the end of the film. So it was kind of meant to happen, I guess. I'm going to give The Babysitter 4 out of 5. One hell of a ride, fun, entertaining, one of the best horror comedies I've seen in a while, and I was really impressed with Samara Weaving in it. Anyway, that's all from me today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit subscribe down the bottom. Follow me on Facebook. Otherwise, until next time, enjoy the movies.